it's been a bit of time and I put the cakes in the fridge. So now I'm getting ready to get the icing ready so that when I take it out of the fridge, oops, I'll put you in a different spot. Okay. Oh man, you're not winning. Okay, there. So that when I take it out of the fridge, it'll be like cool enough for me to ice and not melt the icing in the process. So I'm going to need to get the bowls that I had. So I'm just going to take a moment and wash those so that I can put this in them and then whip it. Okay, so I have just washed the bowls and I'm going to dry them off. I really need to stop using so much paper towel, like really. But now I'm going to open this, and I actually didn't know what icing to get from the store, so I just got buttercream because it was like, I don't know, the same color as the cake, but I mean, I guess that doesn't really matter considering that I'm going to dye it. Smells good though, right? Smells good. Buttercream frosting. What am I supposed to do with this? Okay, so I really hope buttercream is for a cake. It smells like the cake that I made, so I think I'll be set. So I need to get a butter knife. I need to rinse this off. And instead of getting another paper towel, I'll just use the same one. You see progress. And I'm going to take half and put it in this container, and then take half and put it in this container. Wow, this is way like softer than I thought it was going to be. That's okay. It's going on a cake. I'll take this part and put it in here. I'm just gonna try and scrape. Oh gosh, did I get that on my hair? I think I got some on my hair. Well, gonna add some more to this one. There's not really much left, oh, but I think I will add some to this and then add the rest to this one. Let's see how much more we can get out of this one container. A little bit. That's pretty good. Okay, that's pretty good. I think I've gotten out as much as I can. So I guess I'm going to set this to the side so I can throw that away. But again, I'm going to do pink and purple. And actually, I'm going to go grab my glasses because it's getting darker and I'm actually starting to not be able to see. So I'm going to go get those. I'll be back. Okay, so we're back. And I have on glasses now, so I'm actually able to see. I forgot something. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I just have to turn off the light in the other room. Okay, so I think, yeah, like I said, I'm going to do pink for this one and purple for this one. And I watched a video on TikTok the other day, and I think they said that like purple cancels out yellow, which is why when I first added the purple frosting to the yellow batter, it like turned like a whitish gray color, which is like what I didn't want. So now I'm going to do this, and I just remembered that I did not add the blades back to this, so I'm going to get those and then reattach them and come back. So I've got the blades, so now we can reattach them to the mixer here. One done and two done. Okay, so now I'm going to add it in. And I want this, I'm not sure I got enough, what do you call it? What is this stuff called? Frosting, buttercream. I'm not sure I got enough, so I'm going to whip it to like, I don't know, get it fluffier so that I can like make less go further. Okay, so I think that'll be enough. And thinking about it, I think I might have just added a little bit too much because this is not as much as the cake batter was. It's only a small container of this, so I'm gonna blend it. I would do it on video, but this iPhone, like watching the clips back, it picks up way too much audio, and I think that's gonna like hurt your ears. So I'm just gonna like do it off camera and then come back and show you the final product. Here we go. Okay, so we just whipped the first one, which is the pink, and it actually came out a good color and a good consistency. So there's a little bit of this on the blades, but I really don't think that it's gonna affect like the purple color. So I'm not even gonna rinse it off. I'm just gonna continue with the purple and I'll come back. So I'm doing the purple, and fortunately this time it's not gray. You can't really see it because this corner of my kitchen is kind of dark, but it's actually purple, but it's like a very, very light lavender. So I'm going to add some more food coloring, just like another drop. Come on, drop. Okay. And I think that'll be enough to carry the purple color through and keep it from being like too pale. So here we go. Okay, so I added more food coloring, and then I ended up having to add another drop of food coloring. So now we've got a beautiful pink and purple color. So I'm going to take the cakes out of the fridge, and I'm trying to see what I should put them on to begin cutting them. I'm gonna do a plate, because we have these like glass plates that I think will, I don't even know what they're made of, but I think they'll be big enough to fit the entire roundness of the cake, while the paper plates that we have, I think they'd be too small. So I'm gonna move these to this corner over here out of your sight, and I'm gonna go get the cakes out of the fridge. Okay, so here they are, and I'm literally praying that these do not stick. This is gonna be so embarrassing if they stick on camera, so I really hope they don't. But I have my butter knife. I'm just swiping it off. Had some icing on it. So I guess I'll do, oh no, it's not coming out. Okay, I think I'm gonna start with the pink cake, and I'm just gonna pray and turn it over. We're gonna do some tapping. Okay, it still hasn't come out. Okay, I'm gonna do some more tapping, but I'm gonna take it off because I know this is gonna hurt your ears. So I did more tapping and it came off, but now it's upside down. So I'm just going to flip it over this way, right? And we got a little cake. So I think I'm actually going to do, because this one is like pretty good looking on the top, but I think I'm actually going to do purple on the bottom so that I don't have to take off much height from the cake. So I'm going to turn this over and do some more tapping. Yeah. Well, that was very easy to take out. That one like literally took no time. So now I'm going to turn it over again, and it's looking good. So what do I need to do? I cut like a little hole in it, and I can definitely see that it's like very purple on the inside. So I'm gonna take the painting back out of the pan, and just, I guess this is about how tall the cake is gonna be. And instead of actually cutting off the purple layer, since it's in the middle, I'm just going to like add icing, of course, like in between the layers, and I'll just add a little extra around the edge to like fill in like this little gap right here, because it's like, I guess, taller in the middle than it is on the edges. That's probably my fault, but you know, you learn. So I guess we can start with the icing, which I hope will be enough. But first I'm gonna take off some of this, I don't know, flakiness of the cake. This is like the butter and flour mixture that I'm taking off, just to make sure that it didn't stick to the pan. This is that I'm taking off right now. And I'm going to add it to this kind of garbage pile that I have over here so I can throw that away. Clean pan. Okay, and I'm gonna do the same thing with this cake, but I'm just gonna do it over here. Okay, so I've taken all the stuff off that I don't want to eat. And so I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to ice this, because I've never done that before. So I'm going to start with the purple cake, and then I'm going to add the purple frosting to the purple cake. Or actually, first I'm actually going to ice the top of this with purple, and the majority of the cake hopefully will be pink, but I just need to like fill in these edges around there. So this video is not too long. I'm gonna do that off camera and then I'll come back on. Okay, so this little tiny butter knife that I'm having is not working, so I'm going to get a miniature spatula so that I can do this. This one should work. It's pretty small, but it's bigger than the butter knife, and I'll still be able to spread it nicely. Okay, so I just put a rough layer of icing around the top, and this cake is looking a little uneven, but we're trying our best here. So I'm going to take this underneath, and somehow my hand just got wet. Okay, but I'm gonna take this part of the cake and we're gonna put it down here, and then now you can see like the gap is like smaller, but I'm gonna press the cake down because I know some of the frosting like in the middle is like doing that. Okay, and I'm gonna take the rest of this little layer of, the rest of this icing that I have in the bowl, there's not much, and just like go around the edges and just like make sure that it's even. Okay, so I'm still currently trying to get icing out of the bowl. It's kind of difficult. Maybe if I scrape it like from the, okay, that's much better. Doing the edges is actually much easier with the butter knife, but the middle of the cake definitely needed a spatula. So I just take a little bit of it and then like go to where there's like a hole somewhere in the cake. Like over here. Oops. And then I just try and like, I don't know, spread it. It doesn't have to be perfect because this is getting ready to get covered, and the entire cake is going to get covered in pink frosting anyways. So I just don't want there to be any like giant air bubbles like while you cut the cake. So that's the only reason I'm doing this. Just making sure that the top part of the frosting meets the bottom part of the frosting. Okay, well, oops. Oh. There's a bit of an air gap on the back part, so I'm gonna fix that. And the next time you see me, I will be adding the pink frosting to the entire cake. Oops. Oh, okay, so I was able to fill in the gaps on the cake, so that's pretty much set. And now doing this, I realized that I really did not get enough icing, and this is all the icing I have left that's pink, and it's gonna have to cover the entirety of this cake. So this is going to be what you call a very thin layer. So I'm going to do that, and then I guess I will update you. Worst case scenario, I'll just have to make my own frosting, like out of like sugar, but I ideally don't want to do that because it would be like a different flavor, because this is buttercream and I'm not going to go through the process of making that homemade after I've already started. So I'm going to try my best to make it spread evenly around the cake, and I will update you. I can let you watch me spread this around the top of the cake. This is pretty simple and pretty quiet. It's not like a blender. Okay, so also, I didn't tell you this, but because of my lack of frosting, I'm not going to be able to use the little piping bag that I completely failed at. So I guess it's not too much of a tragedy because I thought it would work anyways, but yeah, I definitely just don't have enough frosting to be able to do, so just basically ice the entire cake and do decorations. But I mean, I said I wasn't going to do decorations anyway. I said I was going to make a pink circular blob, so that's what I'm doing. Oh, I missed a part. The front of the cake, like this is the only amount of icing that I have left to do the top of the cake. Everything else has to go to the sides, or else none of the sides will get iced. Okay, so I think I did a pretty good job. Now I'm just gonna take this. I don't even know why this is right here. Take this. I'm just gonna try and go around the cake. You might not be able to see it as I'm doing it because like I need to be able to see what I'm doing. But right now I'm just going around the back of the cake and trying to ice it, and I'm struggling and it's not working. The story of my life. Oh dear. I'm trying my best. And it's failing me. And my cake is lopsided. Man, you guys are just gonna have a field day with this video. This cake is taking a turn. But it'll be okay. If I can get, with the icing that I have on the plate and in my, like on my fork right now, if I can get like the majority of the cake iced on the side, like just like roughly iced, then I will be able to do the entire thing, which is really my only goal. I'm gonna wrap this off so I can use it for the cake frosting too. Okay, so I guess while I'm doing this, I'll tell you a funny story. I might have told you guys this already. Okay, but like when I was younger, me and my grandmother, she used to take me and like all my cousins, like Jossie Joseph. She used to take all of us to this hotel downtown. I forget what it's called, but it had like exactly 10 floors. And like the 10th floor was like the prettiest of all the floors. And back then I used to love getting on elevators, like absolutely love getting on them. It was like, I guess like my roller coaster. And so we were leaving, like we were there for like a few days to a week, and we were getting ready to leave, and she's like taking us all down to the lobby. And I'm like, darling, because that's what I call my grandmother. I was like, can me and Josh get on the elevator one more time? And then she's just like, I can't remember it exactly. I can't remember if she responded or not, but somehow me and Josh went and got on the elevator by ourselves. And I think she said yes, but we weren't expecting the doors to close on their own. And so the doors closed, and we were just like, oh my gosh, like we were like stuck in here. And then the elevator started going up and down, and we were like, it's a glass elevator, and so they're at the bottom, so they can see us and we can see them. And me and Josh were screaming, darling, you didn't tell us what button to push. And we were like so scared and like traumatized in this elevator. And then we just like keep going up and down, because I guess like the elevator was just like doing its like random rotations of like when no one's clicking the button. And so eventually we got to this floor, and there was a housekeeper on it, or like one of the people that cleans your rooms when you stay in a hotel. And she was so nice, and she's like, do you guys need help? And I'm like, yes, we need help. Like little 7-year-old me, like stuck in an elevator, traumatized. So now I am afraid of elevators, and I don't really enjoy getting on elevators, and I always feel like a pit in my stomach, like as soon as I get on, like I can feel my heart drop. It's gotten better over the years, of course, because like I'm getting older now, but still, like if it's my option, I will always choose the escalator, unless the elevator just happens to be like way more convenient. Goodness, that was a long story, but it's a good one. It's a good one. Okay, so now I pretty much iced it, and you can see what I'm talking about when I say a blob. But this is like what like all of our cakes look like. When my mom, ever since I was young, she always used to make cakes for our birthdays, and this is the cake mix that she used. Like we do it every single year. Josh gets the same cake, I get the same cake, and most times she uses the chocolate frosting. It tastes so good. Like she does like the standard one that's like on the box, like in the picture. But I was like, let me try something new. And I was like, I obviously can't dye brown pink, so I had to get like a yellow or white frosting in order to be able to do this. So considering I've never actually made a cake before, I think I did a good job. It doesn't look pretty, but I mean, it's gonna taste good, right? But then at the same time, I also like didn't make the recipe, so I guess like I can't take credit for that either, can I? But I made a good video. I mean, I tried. It's literally just me, like, this is my thought process while I'm cooking. So we went from like me almost setting my house on fire to here. So I mean, natural progression. I'm trying to think, is there another story about fire? Because remember the other day we were talking about fire. I'm trying to think, is there another story about fire that I didn't mention? I was on the phone with Anaya the other day, and I swear I had another story about fire. Give me a moment. I'm trying to think. Because I told you guys about candles, and I told you guys about my backyard, and I told you guys about potatoes. Oh, I remember the story. Okay, so when my family, we just got, well, not just got, maybe about like a year ago, we got new kitchen appliances. Like we got a new oven and a new fridge. And when we got them, like the mover was like riding into the house and everything, and so like the oven like still had like all like the instructions and stuff on it. So my dad was just like, oh, you need to like turn on the oven and just like let it sit at like 350 for like about an hour, because I think it's like a standard thing to do when you first get an oven. Like you need to like let it, like I guess like turn on and like get like all like the chemical stuff off before you actually use it to cook in. And so he turned on the oven, or I turned on the oven, he told me to, and I turned it on, I think I said it's like 350 or like 375, and I go in my room and I have like a timer set for an hour. All of a sudden, like I see like smoke like coming underneath the door in my room, and I can smell like burning, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like what's happening? So I obviously like get up out of my bed, and I'm like, what in the world is going on? So I open my door, there's like smoke everywhere. And it's not like unbearable, but just like imagine like walking like through fog outside, like you can't like see that far, so it was like that. And I was like, what in the world is going on? So I obviously knew it was the oven, because that was the only thing that we had on at the moment. And I walk into the living room, and my dad is just sitting there on his iPad, like nothing is happening. And I'm like, Dad, like what in the world? Like you're burning something, like we're burning something. And so I come into the kitchen and I open the oven, and he forgot, because this is not me, he forgot to take out the pamphlet inside that just like tells you everything about the ovens. There was like a little like magazine, maybe about like this thick, like the texture of newspaper, just sitting in the oven. And when we turned it on, it caught on fire. So we put it out, but it was that was definitely an eventful moment. And he did not notice at all. He was just sitting on his iPad, just like nothing was happening. Like he didn't even notice. And my room is further away from the kitchen than the living room is, so I had to like walk through the living room to get to the kitchen, which I just thought was so funny. I think I've got another story about fire. So we have a gas grill outside, like meaning like it's like actually like in the ground. And so like you turn it on just like you would turn on your oven. So my mom sent Josh outside to turn on the gas grill, and he starts turning it on, and everything is fine. And then all of a sudden Josh is saying like, something is like weird about it. He's like, the handles are like burning off. And we're like, what do you mean the handles are burning off? And then so we get up and go outside. Like imagine like the handle that like you turn on your stove with, just like that, but on a grill. They were literally on like fire, and they were burning off of the grill. And we're just standing there like, this is literally crazy. And as you know, when you turn on the flame like that, it's gas that makes the fire go. So like, the handles end up burning off. They melt off of the grill and they fall onto the ground. And we're just like, oh my gosh, like, this isn't good. And we're like, okay, well, we'll just like turn off the fire. But the handles aren't there. And eventually we get out the fire, like by what do you call it, pouring water on it or blowing at it, and the fire goes out. But now, like, you can hear the gas like coming out of it, just like the stuff that comes out of your oven when it goes tick 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 tick. Yeah, we can hear it coming out of it. And we're like trying so many things. Like, we turned the gas off in our house. It was so bad. It was so bad, and we couldn't get it out. Okay, we had to end up calling 911. Like, we had to have the fire department come out. And they were able to turn the gas off so that, like, we don't like cause like a gas leak in my neighborhood. But needless to say, we did not end up having a what do you call it, a bonfire. We were supposed to have a bonfire, but we didn't end up having a bonfire that night because we didn't want to light my neighborhood on fire. So I have so many stories about fire. I think that was actually like one of like the last ones that I can think of. Like, besides me like putting Capri Suns in the microwave, I think that's it. And with that being said, the cake is done. All right, it's a little lopsided, but I think it's going to taste so good. And I guess I can get a butternut. Oops, I almost like knocked the mixer off my counter. I'm going to cut into it. And guys, don't judge me. Actually, wait, I'm gonna go get sprinkles. Just wait, they're deep in the cabinet. We have to find them. Where'd the sprinkles go? Okay, I think I've lost the sprinkles because I'm not seeing them. I'm gonna check one more time, but I'm really not seeing the sprinkles. Okay, well, I guess I'm not going to add sprinkles, but I'll cut into the cake. Don't judge me. Wait, I need to take a photo. So I'm gonna like turn the camera upside down. Okay, so I did it. And I imagine that it's gonna look rough on the inside, because I haven't seen the inside of it yet, but we're gonna see. Ooh, first slice. Okay, we're gonna do a pretty thin slice, because I'm probably not gonna eat this now. So I'll like share it with my mom. Oh, but it's pretty cute. Guys, look, pink and purple. Oh, looks so good. Well, I'm gonna show you the inside of the cake. Ignore the mess, but that's what the inside of the cake looks like. It is like pink and purple, and you can see the purple layer of frosting in the middle, and then there's a thin pink layer of frosting on the outside. So it came out perfect, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. It's my first YouTube video, and next time I will make it much shorter, but I have no idea how to edit, so it's gonna be long. Okay, bye!